It's time for the B Line. It's time for the B Line.
Uh-oh, people. It's Tuesday again. Who knows what happens on Tuesday? I asked that. How many times have I asked that question?
Yeah, it's been a couple times.
We just had our little clips episode, and people saw how goofy my ass be introducing the show. But I love it. And apparently you guys love it because you guys responding to it. And I love that. But guess what else I love? You know what I love? I love to eat. Can't you see me? Don't you see what I look like?
Hey, me and you both.
Baby, don't be down on yourself. We on my damn show. Listen.
Oh my gosh, I can't talk about loving to eat. Okay.
This is what I'm talking about. We love food, right? Guess who got food? Chef Rel. That's right. We talking about Rel's Way Catering. Once again on the B Line. He's sponsoring. Yo, much appreciation. Chef Rel, you got to eat. You got an event. You got a wedding. You got a birthday. You got to walk in the park. You got a new bride. You got a new wife. You got a new dog. You got a cat. You got a frog. You got a hat. Yo, listen. Check out Chef Rel from Rel's Way Catering. He's making amazing food, great options, healthy alternatives. It's pretty. You don't even want to eat it because it's like art. But you got to eat it because it's great. Chef Rel, Rel's Way Catering. Check him out on Instagram. Food, dreads, fitness. Black man. Support black man. Check it out. We got a new president. Hey, yo, listen. It's your boy, Brian B. People. And here with me today, she's back. It is the beautiful IT Tiff.
Hello.
What up, baby?
everyone.
We got another screen on screen, babe. Another screen on screen. Screen. Remember that song? Vogue, cover girl, working.
I like how you said screen, and then you go, remember that song? Like,
Listen,
nobody knows the
you gotta
screen.
jump around, yo. You gotta jump around. Yo, we got a guest today, and I'm very excited about this guest. As you guys know, your boy Brian B in the B Line. We gonna be on a movie soon. Coming up, not down, coming around. Yo, why am I rhyming so much? What the hell's wrong with me? Like I'm
You're Dr. Seuss today.
Fourth grade and shit. Yo, Mr. Carlos Pizarro. I didn't want to fuck with your name, bro, but I did it. I think I did it pretty good. I hope I did it pretty good.
No, you did it good. You did it good.
Los, what's up, bro? Nice to meet you, man.
Yes. How you doing, brother?
Doing good, man. I actually was introducing the fact that we're going to be in a movie soon called Intuit. It's a sci-fi flick, and this is the producer right here, Mr. Carlos Pizarro. Say what's up to the B Line, brother.
Hey, what's up, B Line? How's everybody doing?
Yes. Yo, it's very good. Thank you for coming on and talking with us, man. We appreciate all the love and the support. Yo, we're gonna get to know you a lot on this episode.
Same here, man.
You know, it's something that we're doing new here at the B Line. This is actually going to be Tuesday's episode. This is on the B Line Webshow. This is the regular show that's been on for the almost 30 episodes. We got 30 episodes coming up, and thank you. We're actually starting a new line of videos where we're doing the B Line Entertainment. And that's going to be like, you see a lot of stuff on the B Line, and we're actually going to split it up. We're going to have people coming on, artists and, movie producers and, actors and celebrities and stuff like that or whatever we're going to have on at the entertainment side on Thursday nights. So Thursday, 9 p.m., the B Line's coming back 2 nights a week. That's how we started and shit. Yo. But we coming back, so we're gonna have the entertainment on Thursday, and we're gonna have a brand new guest on Thursday night, this Thursday coming up. But Mr. Carlos, he's here with us on the B Line Web Show because we're featuring on his movie. So, Los, the floor is yours, man. We're gonna let you shine a lot in this. First off, tell us about yourself, tell us how you doing, tell us what's up with you, where you start, where you from, everything. Go ahead, bro.
I'm pretty good, man. I'm originally from Brooklyn, New York, Sunset Park area. And I've been in Atlanta, it's been a minute, man, over 10 years, maybe longer than that. And I'm into film. Um, I started off doing a lot of writing, and I kind of transitioned into videography, and I just kind of fell in love with it. You know, the
Yeah.
visual storytelling part of it. You know.
Oh yeah. Yeah, that's one of the biggest things with me. Like, everybody on the B line, by now, your boy Brian B. I've always been a writer, man. Ever since I was little, yo. How young did you start? See?
As far as writing,
Yeah.
oh man, I think even all the way back to like maybe like not preschool, but I was always into stories, man, making stories up or trying to write little things. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah.
I
Isn't
think I had
that
an active
crazy?
imagination. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. That's kind of where I was at too. Like that's an interesting thing. I think we talked about it on the Beeline before. Is like where you get your creative nature from and everything. Like the beginning of how you kind of find out what your interests are. I saw a weird video today, and I'm not going to branch off too much because I want to talk about a lot of shit. But I saw a weird video today, and it was a video of a mom. She was taking a picture of her daughter, and the caption was, "This is what she does in her spare time." And the daughter was outside, and she had like one of them little Power Wheels cars and shit. And she was washing it, like she was washing the rims. She was washing the what's it called? And I'm saying to myself in my head, like that little girl right there doing something. She don't even know what she's doing right now. She detailing a car. You know what I'm saying? The mother was making it known like that's what she likes to do in her spare time. That's her interest right there. She might build off of that and start maybe detailing cars when she gets older. Anything branch do
It
different
was
parts
probably a
of car.
Virgo, man.
A Virgo, you say? I don't know what
Yeah,
the
they
fuck that
impressed me
means.
with that, man.
Virgo's clean or some shit.
Yeah, man. Every Virgo I know is like that, man.
Oh damn, I didn't know that. But it was interesting to kind of like pick that up. There's certain things that you do as a kid that carry on with you as you get older and stuff like that. So like you just said, like you have a big imagination. You like writing. You always like stories and stuff like that. So as you got older, writing became something that you were interested in and progressing with and growing with into your career options, whatever. Same here. Like I used to write stories and stuff like that about the neighborhood kids I used to grow up with and stuff like that. Getting chased by monsters and haunted houses and shit. I used to try to submit them into schools so the teachers can give me grades on them and shit. But it's a big thing when you're finding what your interests are and learning yourself and building on yourself as well. So what other interests did you have as a young kid? Like, do you have anything else you want to do besides writing?
Yeah, I mean, a lot of it was creative stuff. Like, I like writing, and it was different things. Remember, I told you at one point I was a songwriter. I was writing songs and stuff like that for people. So I think it all coincided one way. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it definitely comes in. Imagination is fucking big when you're a kid, bro. We try to get our kids out of imagination a little bit right now. Not out of it, but just you got to start to hit reality a little bit at some point too.
We're
You
trying
can't
to divert it also away from being so technological and more just creative in its own thing.
You sound like you making up words now. I was doing philosophical.
No,
that's what I said last night.
You do crazy stuff.
Philosophical. I can't even spell that. But it's interesting.
Well, Brian, right? I think when you're raising kids, not I ain't gonna say the whole thing about just the kids, but when you're dealing with creatives, I think it's important to allow them to kind of explore their talents and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But also help them understand how they can kind of turn it into a career. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah. That's a big. That's just what we're talking about right now. Like it's important to have this. I feel like we were talking about this conversation with Lenny Harrell when Lenny Harrell was on. But it's important to follow your kids and what they like to do and everything like that. But also, like you just said, steer them in a good direction because kids are kids. People got to forget they want to do every fucking thing. You see something on TV in 5 seconds, and now they want to be that and they want to do that or whatever. They're not like goal oriented. They don't have those things. Some kids do, but for the most part, kids are like, they want to explore. They're young. They're just developing. They're learning new things or whatever. So your job as a parent is to help steer them into a direction that you can see for them because you know them better than anybody. You made them.
That's the issue, though. I think a lot of parents. I thought you were gonna say something about me veering off of your side a little.
No, it wasn't.
But I think that parents underestimate the mindset of kids. Yes, they are very into everything. They have to be. This world is new to them, and in order for them to find their passion or what they can zero in on, they have to be allowed that creative playground where like we might see it as, okay, you shouldn't be doing this. This is too much. This is too whatever. But when they develop that relationship with whatever item that they decide or whatever direction, that can actually help them hone in on what they actually love. And if we stop them, then we're actually, stuffing them in this box. Like, this is what's appropriate.
Yeah,
You can't venture out.
You don't want to stop them
because this is what a good career path is.
You never want to stop them, but there definitely is a steering that's necessary when you're dealing with children, because children are what's the word, malleable or whatever. Like they're easily influenced or whatever. I think this is a crazy topic, and what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to kind of cut it, because this is actually a very good topic for a different show. But let's get back to what Carlos is on here about. Like, he's.
No, but I was enjoying it, man. I was enjoying it. I think that, I just feel like, it's funny because, like, tying into the same topic, right? Like, I'm a Sagittarius, I don't know if you're really into.
So am I. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Oh my God.
Go ahead.
I think what'd you say?
I said, so am I.
Okay, now look, I don't know if you ever heard this, but they say that Sagittarius, at times they could be all over the place. Like they could create, they got this big imagination. They'll think of all this stuff, but they won't follow it through, like the projects and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And when somebody told me that, I really did like a self-analysis, and I looked at it and I said, damn, because I do always come up with a whole bunch of projects, and I really started trying to fix that part as far as looking at myself and, my astrological sign. I started saying, okay, well, I got to make it a goal of mine to start finishing my projects, because I always multitask. I always have 4 or 5 projects I'm working on at the same time. So I try
Some other people can't understand that.
Yeah.
I was just saying, some people can't understand that. Anytime I tell him I can multitask, he just doesn't believe me.
You actually made a good point about trying to hone in what you're doing. And babe, you were saying the same thing about me having. I'm not good at it. I'm not good at multitasking. I can have a bunch of ideas and things like that or whatever, but I can't. At least I don't like to focus on trying to do too many things at once, because I feel like I'm not giving enough time to something. I want stuff to be done in a particular kind of way, and not perfection, because I understand nobody can be perfect, but as close to it as you can get. I like shit to be done great, man. I want when I sit down and say I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna work on this, I want it to be done how I'm envisioning it, with whatever kind of tools I can use to make it the best of my ability. I feel like if I'm doing too many different things at the same time, I'm never going to be able to give the quality that I need to give one project that I'm trying to give to 7. You know what I mean? That's why I'm just not that good at, well, not that I'm not that good, but I just don't like to multitask if I can help it. If I got to, like, I could chew gum and walk and shit. Like, you feel me? But, yeah, but
what's sign again, Brian?
I'm a Leo.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm not too up on the I'm about to always get my words wrong. Astrology. I know what the damn word is, but I'm not too up on it. But I know Leos are like, we're like prideful and very like hot-headed, and Tachi Tip over here side-eyeing the shit out of me, like
very self-centered, self-absorbed, spotlight.
I didn't want to say none of that, man.
Oh, here we go. Listen.
All eyes on me.
Let's put Brian B on Spotlight Shine Time. But
right.
yo,
you're a natural leader,
That I do try to go by as hard as I can. But so Carlos, we talking about some crazy shit to begin this show. I thought we were gonna be talking about movies, but it's awesome. I love it though. But let's get to know you a little bit better, bro. So you said you're from Brooklyn. What brought you to Atlanta?
I don't know. It just got to a point where we just seemed like everybody was starting to migrate. A lot of people I knew that were conscious and things like that. They were leaving the cities, like they were leaving New York and wanted to come out and be in tune with nature. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. New York is a crazy place for a lot of people who don't know. I'm from Jersey, and I'm from like right there by New York. We right over the bridge, Staten Island, all of that. And it's wild, bro. It's a different kind of living from the South or whatever. And like you just said, people do try to steer away from that city life, especially for the expensive. It's expensive to live up north, New Jersey was voted like one of the most expensive states to live in, or whatever at one point, I think. But people come down here to Georgia. A lot of people migrate south because it's known for, like, you know, being a little cheaper, being a little bit more family oriented, stuff like that. You try to get away from the damn rat race. So I definitely understand that. Was that the only thing that brought you? You just wanted to migrate south, or did you have any other projects you were trying to work on, or people you were trying to get to know?
No, at that time, I just wanted to get out of New York, you know, and then after that, you know what I'm saying? I kind of got into the other stuff, you know what I mean?
Got you. Did you get into movies and directing and stuff like that when you got down here, or were you doing that in New York too?
No, I actually got into it down here. I was still songwriting, but it was funny because sometimes we would write songs or work on projects, and the projects wouldn't be approved.
Yeah.
And I would have all these thoughts. Like, I think that's, you know, the creative part. I would have all these ideas for how the music video would be, everything. I had all these ideas in my head, and at that time I had a homegirl that was she was in film school, and she would talk to me about projects and all that, and it was interesting to me, you know. And then like I said, I had a second friend that another homeboy of mine. He kept talking to me about filming and all that, and he actually told me he thought I would be real good at it. He thought I could be better than him, and he told me I should get a camera and start, you know, working with him, shadowing him or whatever. And I did. I got a camera, and I kind of fell in love with it. You know what I'm saying?
That's awesome that you had somebody that kind of influenced you into that direction, though. That's another big thing, that when you want to do something, it's kind of hard to just, you know, pick it up and just start it on your own. You know what I mean? Like it does help when you have somebody that you got, like, that's kind of taking you under their wing and trying to help you, like, you know, become good at your new, like, you know, a hobby that you're getting into or whatever. But I don't know, man, because then I feel like you're starting to kind of adapt. Did you feel like you were starting to kind of adapt, like things that he was doing, instead of just kind of finding your own?
Nah. And you know, it's funny you say that, right? I always knew. It's funny because when people do film, like people, especially, like, I'm a director, so when the people direct, they say you see the world through their lens or through their eyes, you know. Okay. So I used to watch his projects and his work, like anyway, anything from music video to whatever. And I always saw it differently. Like, I saw the way he would do it, and I didn't have a problem with it. But I always wanted to add something different. Like, I guess I'm more of a creative guy when it came to what I see in my head. You know what I'm trying to say? Like,
yeah.
Like even growing up, I used to like stuff like Star Wars, and, you know, I used to like crazy stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah, Star Wars and stuff like that was a lot of people's, like, you know, there's a lot of if you talk to a lot of, like, movie directors and people and producers and stuff like that, they'll tell you, like, those are the kind of movies. There was a guy I was listening to, it was a damn commercial on YouTube the other day, and he said that he started getting into sound editing and audio like technician because he watched The Exorcist. And he was like, I watched The Exorcist and I saw just how crazy, and the sounds. It's creepy when you think about shit like that. Making a movie.
That's creepy now.
Bruh, listen, we was talking about that shit too. Making a movie, bruh, and I'm trying to like pick at parts or whatever, but fuck it, I'm just gonna let the conversation fly. When you're making a movie, yo, there's so many things, like you just said, imagination. If you have a thought in your head, let's say you have a crazy dream, all right, and you go to sleep and you wake up. I had one, we always do it. Me and IT Tip, we wake up next to each other, we like, oh shit, I said, it's a crazy dream, babe. What happened to you? No, what happened to me? And it's like, you think of this stuff, you can make that. You can create that. If you're a person who's in that field, you can take that crazy ass dream you just had in your head, figure out all the right moves to make to make that onto a screen so somebody else can see it, physically see it. You know what I'm saying? Not just, you know, mentally envision what you're speaking. So that is a hell of a gift, yo. If you can do that and learn the tools and the tricks of the trade or whatever to do that, that's where you get the Star Wars and the damn, you know, Exorcists and Disney and all that stuff or whatever.
I'm gonna tell you what's interesting about that. Not to cut you off, but to add on to what you're saying, I was reading an article, and it was saying that they talked about a couple of different things in reference to dreams and people, like creative people. But they said that James Cameron actually saw a lot of the world that he created in the Avatar movie.
Yeah.
Like him by himself, but all the people put together in the Avatar movie. But they say that he dreamt of a lot of that stuff. Wow. I thought it was pretty tight, you know?
Probably smoke some of that shit too.
But
I'm telling you, that's how a lot of people.
Pan's Labyrinth?
What is it?
A movie called Pan's Labyrinth?
Yeah, I know what it is. I never watched the whole movie, but I know exactly. I know parts of it. That's the shit with the creature with the freaking eyes in his hands and all that. Isn't that one?
Yeah, Guillermo del Toro, the director.
I didn't even know he did that. Del Toro was the one who did that one?
Yeah, he's a heavy director, man. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Those are kind of movies I'm into. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. That's actually what I was on. One of the questions I wanted to ask you. Like, what movies do you like and what do you follow?
It's crazy because I like a little bit of everything, but it's like I like Robert Rodriguez. That's he's one of my favorite directors. I like
Dust
Martin
Till
Scorsese.
Dawn.
Always like Martin Scorsese, Stanley Kubrick, Antoine Fuqua, Spike Lee, John Singleton, George Lucas, Christopher Nolan. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, you name it. You name it damn near everybody. I said Dust Till Dawn for Robert Rodriguez, but no, that was what's his name? Quentin Tarantino. But I think Robert Rodriguez was with Quentin Tarantino doing Dust Till Dawn. If I'm not mistaken.
I think Robert Rodriguez filmed that though. That's still doing. I think that was his movie.
Yeah. I know he had a part. I'm pretty sure he had a part in it. I'll look it up and flash it on the screen later. But I love movies. I think Tiff knows I got a freaking whole collection in our living room over here. As a matter of fact, you saw it too when you came over the house to shoot the movie and everything. I haven't been a movie fan since birth, man. So it's a lot of fun, like actually being able to kind of be in one or so. Even doing the show, it's like every time I do something different, I'm creating something where I'm talking to people, and we try to make it funny. We try to do little things here, and especially with the editing now, like we're making little videos like every TV episodes at this point. It's a lot of fun doing this shit, yo. A lot of creativity, a lot of things you can make happen that you might not be able to do by just talking to somebody, physically showing somebody some shit. But
and listen, the more you do anything, the better you're gonna get at it, man. That's why, like, when it comes to any of this stuff, I always recommend to people, like, I didn't go to film school, I didn't do all that stuff, but just pick up, like, whatever you're doing, no matter what it is, I just recommend you just do it, man. Make a movie.
Yeah.
No matter how bad it is or what kind of mistakes you make, you just try to figure out how you can fix those mistakes, and that's how you learn. You know what I'm saying? To me, that's like your hands-on training. You know what I'm saying?
You're gonna make some bullshit and keep going. When the fuck do you call it quits? Like,
yeah. But see, I'm gonna tell you, like, even with what you're doing, right? Yeah. If you look at your first couple episodes and then you look at the present episodes, there's gonna come a time when you're gonna be able to look back and you're gonna see the growth. You know what I'm trying to say?
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, I mean, we actually, during the last episode, that was like one of the eye-opening things that I think she's kind of been saying that more than me even. It's like you see the progression. That was one of the first things she told everybody. Like when we was talking to the audience, we were like, "Yo, grow with us," because like you said, anything you do consistently, bro, and that you actually do with passion and drive, like you're gonna get better at the shit. Like I don't care if it's just like standing up differently or doing this differently, whatever easy motions that you do every day. You do it well with a thought process behind it, and you try to do it the best of your ability. You're going to progress, man. And doing something like this where it's on video and you can go back and say, oh, let me go back to the first time I ever picked up a damn microphone, as a singer maybe, or a performer, you know what I mean? Like you said, you were doing songwriting. Let me go back and hear that first song that I wrote. And then you go back to the new song you did 2 years later and you see like, holy shit, like even if you feel like you haven't gained any progress, that is a very fun tool when it comes to like entertainment, bro. You can see that shit, the visual.
And I'm gonna tell you, not to cut you off, like, but to add on to that too, I think that's another step that people they shy away from. Sometimes you gotta pause, you gotta take a minute, and you have to be able to acknowledge your growth. You know what I mean? You have to, because some people become impatient. You know what I'm trying to say? I think that when you do that at times, you could acknowledge your growth and see that you're moving in the right direction. You know what I'm saying? I think that helps because I know people that get frustrated, and I'm like, man, I can see the growth. I can see the consistent growth, but it's you have to understand it's a process. Anything is a process. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's easy to get frustrated when you're doing shit like that, bro, because especially for people who really want to be great, you know what I mean? It's a difference. I don't want to keep jumping around, but it's like
Michael. Man. I'm with it, man.
The Michael Jordan, I don't know if you saw it. I didn't even see it, but I've heard a lot about it. Michael Jordan, the documentary.
The Last Dance, right? Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah. And like just how crazy he is about like being the best and winning. And I mean, like pretty much an asshole. Like he's an asshole, but it gets to the point where you start to realize like, do you have to be an asshole to accomplish that much great? You know what I mean? Like most people that have accomplished like great things, bro, a lot of times they have different characteristics that may not be as normal as people would see. I don't want to use him as an example, but it's fucked up, but I'm gonna say it anyway. Donald Trump, like, yeah, he's an asshole, right? He's this, he's that, he's big-headed, he's racist, he's all this shit. But that motherfucker got billions, yo. You know what I mean? Like, at the end of the day, like, he is a successful business. I don't know if it's because he stomped people out. I don't know if because he just did this, did that, whatever, crooked, whatever. But he successfully did what people try to fucking do every day, you know? Be big, have your name known all over. He's an asshole, he's a piece of shit, but what his personality is what made him who the fuck he is. So it's
yeah, and you know, not to cut you off, but to add on to that too, you know, going back to astrology again, you know, Donald Trump is a Gemini, man, and they fucking maniacs, man. When I say they're brilliant though, like if you look at certain people, it just fits. It fits them perfect. Like look at if you look at goddamn Kanye West, he's a fucking Gemini. Yo. Like these guys, like they have them kind of personalities. They're self-centered. They got these big egos, but they're also kind of brilliant in a lot of ways too. You know what I mean? Tupac was a fucking Gemini, man.
Oh damn, I didn't know that.
But if you look at it, it kind of matches up because it's almost like they're two different people, man. One person wants to be bothered, the other person don't want to be bothered, and then they almost ignore you, and then they'll come around and act like you're supposed to give them all this attention. Like they're really weird. Like it's like two extremes when it comes to that Gemini shit. Yeah. And like it kind of fits when you look at Donald Trump. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I never knew it, but I'm also not that big on astrology or whatever. I know a little bit about it, but I don't follow it that heavy. But it's all interesting, bro. It's very interesting when you notice the characteristics like that. You like what does it take to become, you know, great? You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying that that's the only way you can do it. I'm pretty sure there's people out there who's been themselves. You know, there's a dude who I always feel like I've always said it in the industry. Will Smith, yo. Will Smith looks like he's actually a real nigga, yo. Like he looks like he's an honest guy. I don't know if he is. I have no clue. I'm not trying to say. I would just say if I had to bet on it, I'd be like, yo, I guarantee, like, if I met Will Smith, he'd probably be like a pretty cool dude. Like he looks like he is who he is, even when he's playing his roles. That's one of the reasons why, like, Will and Martin Lawrence, two of my favorite actors, yo, of all time. But it's just, I respect that, yo. Like when people still try to be true to themselves, even through their accomplishments or whatever, like, you don't got to be a piece of shit. I don't think you do, but it's crazy that a lot of pieces of shit are the ones who is reaching success. You know what I mean? Especially in the entertainment industry, you know, whether or not you talking about like women, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, women over there selling their damn souls and shit like that or whatever. Some of them sleeping their way to the top. Some of them, you know, all the Harvey Weinstein. People talk about the Harvey Weinstein shit, but you also got to remember, yeah, he's a piece of shit for doing everything he did. But you got to remember, yo, them girls, instead of saying no, they wanted to sit there and, oh, well, I don't want to be taken out of the spot, so I got to try to do what I can. It's horrible people trying to take advantage, but I mean, at the same time, you got to remember, you got to not lose your morals. You can't lose your character just because you trying to fit in where you trying to fit in. So old boy sat there and dominated them actresses and stuff like that and did all that shit that he did. But at the same time, just being honest, yo, they let him, bruh. I know plenty of fucking females that ain't gonna never be in that position and be like, yo, I don't care what you got going on. I'm out. I know for sure I know her. So I asked, you know, you could give IT Tiff a basket full of money and say, yo, I just need you to do this one thing. If she don't want to do it, she ain't gonna do shit.
But that's a personality thing though. You
yeah.
know, when your eyes are set on a certain thing and you know you're already in it, you know that there's a really clear way to get to the top. You know, a lot of people get desperate in that situation. Yeah. I want to make it here. Or even if there's a situation that happens, a lot of people don't like confrontation. They don't want to bring up anything. They probably were told, no one would believe you. I'm bigger than you. Like, I am a bigger name than you. So I don't think necessarily that all of those people were just like willing victims. I mean, I think a big issue is the fear of coming out, the fear of going against someone who's already made it. And then also knowing like, okay, this sucks, but at least if I just take it and shut my mouth, then I can get ahead instead of saying something about it and then looking stupid and being homeless.
That's what I'm saying. That's exactly my point though. Exactly. Everything you just said exactly is a shitty situation, but my point is, even though that is a shitty situation, babe, if you was put in that situation, you the only girl here.
Like I said, that's a personality thing.
I'm
I
just
go
saying,
rogue. Like personally,
yeah.
I can't be compared to a lot of people because I am not influenced by the same kind of things that a lot of people are.
But
I don't
so is
care
other
about
people
money.
though.
I don't care about material stuff.
That's what I just said.
If
The whole thing. I just said
but
that.
I know, but I'm just saying, like most people do care. There's very few people that just don't care. If someone says $1 million if you do this, most people, I can't think of a lot of people who'd be like, nah, whatever it is, nah. I'm like that because I'm weird and probably damaged, but that's cool because I'll never be in those situations. I would rather rat out the whole industry and come up missing
That's
than
my
to be
point.
a victim.
That's my point though. The point is at the end of the day, we got in Harvey Weinstein. We talking about fucking directors and shit. I want to get your opinion on it too, Los. But my point is, in that industry, you have these, in a lot of different industries, but entertainment is a big one. You have a lot of these guys, fat cats, whatever you want to call them, that are at the top of the chain, and they abuse their power. And that was like the biggest thing with the Me Too movement, where all the women were coming out and they were speaking against exactly what you just said, Tiff. The people who are abusing their power, sitting at the top in the fat chair, with the cigar in their hand, and the woman will come in and say, hey, yeah, I'm interested to work with you. You an amazing producer. You this and you that. And that motherfucker was like, well, what you gonna do for me? And then at that opportunity right there, a woman, whoever the woman is, whether it's like you, whether it's like, whoever the fuck went through the process, they have the opportunity to say, you know what, fuck that. I don't know. I don't care how much this is. I know, or I believe that there's something out there where I don't have to be, challenged with this situation. I'm going to go my other way. Then you had the ones that was like, well, I don't want anything bad to happen after this. Fuck that shit,
I don't think it happens as smoothly as that, where it's like, okay, do this, and then you get here. I think a lot of stuff is kind of underhanded, where like touching starts happening, or it's like a little like that.
Yeah,
that happens in a woman's everyday life. Like when we go out and stuff, men automatically feel like they could touch you like on your shoulder, and then if you don't stop them there, then they come across.
Yeah, I get that.
Like,
I get that
I don't
for
think
sure.
it's always like, okay, now suck it, and then you can make it.
That's what they were saying though. Shit, you don't think they going in them rooms like old girl said that she came over to do a script reading or something like that or whatever, and he was basically like, yo, I need a massage, like straight up, like you gotta understand another thing about those powerful men or whatever. They're just used to being, same thing with Donald Trump. You just used to being powerful. So you feel like anything, what the hell is the old girl name? Ashley Judd. She was talking about, I think that was Ashley Judd. I might be wrong. But she was talking about how Harvey Weinstein came to her fucking house. And they were having a party and he was just chastising her at her house about how she came to an award show in like a weird fucking thing or whatever, where she was trying to like, not be showing her body, some crazy shit like that or whatever. And he came to her house like, who the fuck do you think you are to blah, 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 and do this against what I told you to wear, and some crazy shit like that or whatever. Some people of power that think they're just dominant and they can just put themselves over anybody, anything, nothing can happen, there's no consequences. Those are motherfuckers like you talking about. Their brazenness is limitless, yo. Touching your back, that's a motherfucker who's trying to find you out. Let me figure out how far I can go. Let me see how far I can get there. But them motherfuckers who believe in themselves, like, yo, I'm here. Bitch, you better work. That's the motherfuckers that you gotta really watch. Because they think that there's nothing that can happen to them. Until the nigga found out. He in jail right now with Kofi Mania. Fucking Kofi Mania. I don't know if he still got that shit, but whatever. Yo, Los, I'm sorry, bro. We just went into
That's all good.
world. How you feel about that shit though in the industry, man?
Yeah, I mean, I don't condone none of that stuff, and I just there's a principle I try to go with where they say you should have discretion. I think it was the prophet Enoch that said you should show discretion when you're in a position of power, and I try to stay away from any of that kind of stuff, man, because it comes both ways, man. Just I'm doing it on a lower level right now, independent level and all that stuff. And I see how you can take advantage of people's dreams, you know what I'm saying? For lack of a better word. People's aspirations and stuff like that. I see how you can take advantage of them and how some of them will willingly do anything just to get closer to their aspiration, their dreams or art or whatever, anything like that. And I stay away from that kind of stuff. And I even know people that I deal with that I've seen them, you know, I've seen certain things happen, but I'm like, yo, I try not to get involved with none of that stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't want nothing to be misconstrued or come back later and somebody try to switch it up. You know what I'm saying? But it's crazy on both sides. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I don't, like I said, I don't condone it. You know what I'm saying?
It's really crazy that another thing you think about, you know, with all of that stuff happening. I can't believe we're on this topic, but I mean, it is a good topic. With all that stuff that happened for guys like you know what I mean? It opens up a door of, like you said, it's fearful because you have to make sure that there's no indication that, you know, both ways, that you're not doing anything that's making somebody feel uncomfortable, especially like in a heightened state of awareness. And then you're also got to make sure that you're not doing anything that's you know, causing you to be like, oh, I can't do my job because I'm scared to hire this actress or hire this person because I don't want this situation, or somebody come onto your set and be like, oh, I'm here to try to find something to sue somebody about, or, you know, whatever, or claim he did this. You don't even got to lose money. You just lose credibility. At this point, one person just says one thing. I went there and I didn't feel that good around him. It was weird how he was looking at me. That's your fucking credibility right there. That's your name in the dirt that fast in the environment that it is now, bro. So it's got to be kind of scary for like a movie director to sit there and be in this thing. One person, and it could just be on some goofy shit like, oh, she just didn't like what you said or what you did, or how her part was smaller than the other girl's part or some shit like that or whatever. And then bam, they're trying to throw you in the dirt, and it means something now.
No,
It's
I
not
agree.
like,
I agree. Listen, everything you're saying, I agree with, man. And that's why I said I always try to practice. I always try to follow certain principles and guidelines when it comes to anything dealing with people. So I really try not to go there, man. Like I try to stay professional and not mix business with, you know, pleasure and that kind of stuff, because I see how easy it can happen though. As far as I agree 100% with what you said about a person's credibility, you know. And the
yeah,
scary part is there's lies out there too. And I
yeah,
know plenty
very
of people
true.
lied about things and it came out later. And I mean, it ruined people's credibility, like you said, and affected them, not just their jobs and their livelihood, it affected them mentally. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, I just feel like I can't speak with nobody else, but for me, man, I just try to stay professional, man, because I don't even want to open none of those kind of doors with these people. You know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah, it's scary, man. It definitely, especially like in your field where you making your money and doing your things and everything like that. B Line, what happened? Somebody's gone. What? Whoa. Yo, check it out. I don't know if you guys forgot, but you remember my little baby, my little Jordan, my baby. Listen, Jordan getting big, y'all. Y'all seen Jordan from episode 10. That was the first time y'all saw Jordan on here. You heard her a couple of episodes, but Jordan don't like to sleep no more. She up with mommy and daddy now. So she wilding. So Auntie Tiff had to step away and she gonna take care of the baby. Jordan's damn, my baby's 1.5 at this point. She almost 2, man.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, you know, terrible twos is coming early. She got, you know, it's weird with kids, man. They when they have like other kids to look up and around and stuff like that, they start to develop earlier, man. Like they see the
That's
look.
true.
We got the twins, you know. My son and daughter, they both 9 years old, so they running around, and she wants to run around with them. So, but
Yeah, yeah.
yeah. Anyway, so we was talking about, like, you know, the crazy shit about, like, you know, the entertainment industry right now, and the whole Me Too movement and stuff like that. We haven't really spoke about that on the B Line yet. That Harvey Weinstein shit, like it is something where you don't realize just how much damage, like, you know, people like Harvey Weinstein does to people, not just the women that he affected, which is like fucking horrible, of course. You know, I would never want my sister or Auntie Tiff or like my daughters, you know what I mean? Like, I would never want my babies growing up in some shit like that or whatever. So knowing that, you know, there are perverts out there and creeps that'll try to take advantage of people, like you said, that are trying to, like, you know, reach their highest dreams, like, you know, or men both ways, man, or men, anybody that you're just trying to, like, you know, do that to is fucked up. But I do want to talk about, you know, some things as far as, like, you said you said you used to write music and stuff like that. Where did that start?
No, I was saying when I was in New York, you know, I was rapping like everybody else. I started rapping and doing shows, demos, and you know, I just loved hip hop, man. And I love the art form and the structure of the writing, all this stuff, and storytelling. I loved all that stuff. And then it's like I went from doing the hip hop to doing like R&B and different things. And some of my friends would do songs, and they have a hook, and I would rewrite the hook for them, or I didn't really
Yeah.
like certain things. They would ask my opinion, and I
Yeah,
kind of
no, yeah.
started from there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that shit, that's where you start though with it though. What you started rapping first?
Yeah, I started rapping first, and then kind of started paying attention to song structure and all that kind of stuff. Like really paid attention to the art form as far as writing and just all that stuff. And I started listening to other songs and other artists outside of hip hop, and I was like, wow, I can do that. And
Yeah.
I kind of understood the structure and kind of, like I said, some of my friends that took it more serious than me, they would have singles that had like R&B hooks, and I would be like, man, they would ask me what I thought though, and then I would kind of try to help them rewrite it, and I kind of understood what worked and what didn't. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, definitely. I think that's one of the things about, writing music nowadays. I'm still dealing with a lot of people who are writing music and everything. I know you are too. The difference is that people are trying to, create with writing music now to where they don't really care about structure a lot of times now. And I'm not saying everybody, but I know a lot of people who are literally just trying to change up song structure because they just want to be different, or they want to
Yeah.
have something that's going to be more catchy and more what's the word? Hold people's attention a little bit more, attention grabbing a little bit more, and for a less amount of time. So instead of putting out like a whole song with structure, like, we had another couple of artists on here that was talking about, like, songwriters who was talking about how to write a song where you have, like, you got your verse, you got the hook, you got your verse, you got the hook, you got your bridge, shit like that.
Yeah,
People
and
really...
I heard that. Not to cut you off, but I heard when you were talking about, I think Lenny, whatever his name was.
Yeah,
Your
Lenny
cousin?
Harrell. Yeah, my cousin. My cousin.
Yeah.
He used to be Lenny Harrell. I can't believe I didn't say this shit on the thing. I don't know how I didn't talk about this on the podcast, but yeah, Lenny Harrell used to be in the group Blackstreet, yo, and
Yeah, you
Blackstreet.
told me that, man. And I was like,
Yeah,
damn, I didn't know that, man.
yeah, Blackstreet was big, man.
No, they were
Yeah,
huge. But
yeah.
getting back to what we were talking about for a second, right? Like, so I don't lose my train of thought. I think that the biggest problem with music nowadays is artist development. I don't feel like there's no real artist development, and I think that's that was something that was key for artists because you could be talented, you could have something, but you get this one opportunity and say you don't come up with the right single or it doesn't sell or catch the audience or whatever. A lot of times you get shelved, man. You get pushed to the side, and then
Yup.
that's it.
Oh
So
yeah.
the artist development, I feel like you have the opportunity to understand and grow. Like we said, anything you do, the more you do it, the better you get at it. But some people don't have a chance when it comes to consumerism. Like you just it's just focusing on sales, and if you're gonna capture this audience and so on and so forth. But they may promote a single that it just wasn't the right single, or maybe didn't
Yeah.
find your sound. You know what I'm saying at that time.
Oh yeah.
So I think that's another thing that's dangerous. Like I work with my boy. His name is Omar Rogers. He has something called Rogers Music Group. It's management, and he's dealing with a lot of artists. But even with that, like you said, you're dealing with people that have talent, but at the same time, you have to have some kind of structure as far as people have to have time to grow, and that's the hard part when you're dealing with an industry that's almost like an assembly line. They're just looking for the next hit, and just
Exactly.
throwing it out. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Them artists that don't succeed or they don't do it that quick, they unfortunately they just end up on the back burner. Like you see all this, like what they call one-hit wonders and all that stuff.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, you're making a good point too right now. Exactly.
Wait, hold on. Let me plug my laptop in and say my laptop is dying. Hold on.
Okay, that's cool.
Yeah, but I can hear you, Brian. My bad.
Now you good, but that's a really good point about how it is important. Just because you don't, I understand the point of wanting to kind of keep up with the times and not just stay to your own kind of personal art form where it just works for you. You do want to try to reach out and hit different audiences and stuff like that or whatever. But I don't ever think that should be you jeopardizing your art form, if that makes any sense. So if I'm if I'm painting a picture and I'm used to painting in a certain way to where I'm trying to make sure I'm getting all the detail. I'm trying to make sure that I'm making it look pretty. I'm trying to make sure that I'm making it look beautiful. I'm hitting background. I'm doing extra work. I'm hitting birds and the sun and all this other shit or whatever. And then I'm like, okay, I'm doing that for people who really appreciate art. And then I'm going to say, okay, well, there's a different generation of people who ain't really into art that much. So I'm just going to go and draw a couple stick figures and fucking whatever. just so it can be fast and taken in quickly so you can move on to the next thing. I think that's disrespectful to you as an artist. Like, you should always, there's a way that you can formulate what you do and your fucking, your what you bring to the table as your art form, and bring it to another audience, still being true to yourself, yo. That's at least how I feel. And like you said, with the artists in the industry, I think a lot of people, like you said, artists don't have time to grow. Like, you get shelf fast. Say it again.
Artist development.
Yeah, artist development. That's a perfect word. Like, people don't have time to develop because everybody is in a fast pace. You said an assembly line was a fucking great analogy, because it really is like that. People are trying to keep up so much that they're not allowing themselves to progress. So the progression is what's lacking. And I think that's why the form is lacking. And that's why I always say this shit. There's a lot of artists that, just like Lenny Harold and A Natural and all of them. We got a couple of people coming on the B Line. You Play a Slade. We're gonna be doing his Play a Sway. I don't want to say his name wrong. We're gonna be doing his we're gonna do his interview soon. But there's people still trying to stay true to the form, yo, not just trying to adapt to a TikTok fucking mentality where you see me for a minute and then I'm going. Like,
yeah, and to add on to that too, I really feel like it's important for people to have their sound, like their own originality. Like, at once upon a time, everybody had a different sound. Busta Rhymes had his own sound.
Oh yeah.
Z and DMX. Certain people had these different sounds, man. Like, you knew who they were, and it wasn't about nobody really trying to sound like them. People wanted to showcase their individuality. Now it just seems like everything is about trying to sound like somebody else, and people just basically copying. Like they're being everybody's copying somebody else, and there's no originality to me. Like, there's some artists out there. I'm not gonna say they're not out there.
Yeah, there's some.
What's happening with radio and that kind of stuff, just seem like everybody, you can name 10, 15 artists that all sound the same, man. Like, their structure's all the same, as opposed to want to sound different. You know what I'm trying to say?
I know exactly what you're saying. You want to know something? We haven't talked about it on the B Line, honestly. But when I say shit, you're saying it perfectly. Because if you don't know this shit, like, you turn on the radio right now, whether you're listening to the Baby, whatever his name is, you listening to, there's a whole bunch of artists, especially rappers, bro. Rappers in the South or whatever. That's pretty much the dominant kind of art form that you got out right now, where, as far as rap that I see, maybe it's just because I'm out here, but you consistently hear that same kind of, from 2 Chainz to whoever, bro, Future, they all have that same kind of flow. They sound the fucking same. Like, you just named 3 people and 3 completely different sounds. Like you said, Busta, Jigga, DMX. Those 3 fucking guys or whatever, completely different. And even if you wanted to kind of branch off a little bit more, you got Method Man, you got Redman, you got people who sound different. They had their own kind of state. But now you turn on the radio and you hear the same kind of song. Skirt, sound effects, same shit. They rap the same. They sound the same. It's crazy. Like, the individuality is kind of broken, because I think that people are just trying to do what everybody else is doing so they can stay relevant, instead of trying to create something new and have their own individuality, artist development, so they can become something new or something next, at least, maybe. You know what I'm saying? Like,
and I think it's important for the longevity too. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because when if you're involved with any kind of fad or whatever it is, when that fad dies out, you'll die out with it. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
So I think it's important that somebody has to establish themselves. But, like, don't get me wrong now. I like Lil Baby. I like Baby. I like Gunna. I like certain artists. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And, I even see some other stuff happening, like, Griselda, like Benny the Butcher, some of them guys, like J. Cole. I like some of these guys. I like
J. Cole's a beast.
With the lyrics and, certain things. But, music evolves and it shifts. I think the culture, when people, I don't think everybody understands that when the culture shifts, you kind of got to know you have to be in that place to understand the culture, to really kind of get a grasp of the music. Like, when I was in New York, I didn't understand certain things about Southern music. And it wasn't that I didn't like it. It was just different to me,
Yeah.
So moving out here and understanding the culture and the lifestyle and the slang and all that, I could understand it better. And, like, I'm not going to say respect it, but I appreciate it more. You know what I'm trying to say?
I get you.
And I think that's another part of it too. Like as far as the shifts, you know what I'm saying? Like you have to understand what's happening there. You know what I'm trying to say?
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. You're making a lot of sense, and I think you said, like you said, experiencing it is what's different. I'm the same way. I didn't really know about it. Like up north, we knew about Yang Yang Twins. We knew about Little John and the East Side Boys. We knew about Ti. You know about Luda. You know about shit like that or whatever.
Outcast, you know what I'm saying?
Oh, Outkast. Oh yeah, of course. But even with that though, see, I'm not gonna get into this conversation where I'm not trying to fucking knock nothing. I'm not trying to be that old dude that's sitting there saying, "Oh, I miss how things used to be." But even with those things, bro, with those guys that we just named, that's what we knew about Southern, hip hop back home. But it's just like it's different, bro. Because even that being Southern, what we knew as Southern, when you got down here and you do see new guys, you do see there's guys that's hot, there's guys that's dope, whatever, that's doing their thing or whatever. But it isn't changed, bro. I can't compare. I'm sorry. I'm not trying to hate. I would love to have everybody on my show. I'm not trying to fucking throw shade or anything like that. But I can't compare Baby to Ti, bro. I can't compare. I mean, I don't think he's. I actually think he's a pretty good lyricist. He actually got some. He got some flow, but I can't compare him to Ti. When I'm talking about like lyrically, even when I'm talking about song making, bro. I'm not trying to hate Luda. Listen, bro.
Yeah, but honestly, some of these guys like Ti, all of them. I one thing I love about music the most, man. I love watching the growth of an artist, man. I mean, I love it, man. I listen to albums, I buy them, I examine them. I listen to them, and I listen to it from a fan's perspective, from a songwriter's perspective, from an artist's perspective. And I've seen the growth. I've seen Ti grow, man. I've seen Jay-Z grow. I've seen so many artists grow, man. Like, and I love that part. So it's hard to compare them at these points because somebody like Ti, he's grown to be the legend that he is now, and the songwriter, and just all these things. And then some of these guys, they're still trying to find their identity from a certain perspective. Like they may have some success with music, but they're still growing, and you can hear it with certain songs. You know what I mean? And I think that's the difference too. Like when people try to compare eras, you know what I'm saying? Because somebody may be in their prime as opposed to somebody else maybe still growing. You know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah, no, you're making sense. You're definitely thinking more like level-headed than me. I'm a little bit. I'm not scared to admit it though. I know that I'm a little bit in my own kind of way with music and shit like that. I do have a passion for it, and I do respect the fucking artistry of it, bro. Like I respect people who are really trying to make classics, man. I respect people who are really trying to come in here and be the best. Like they want to be dominant. They want to sell millions, you know what I'm saying? They want to do this. I'm pretty sure everybody wants to make fucking money, but I'm saying like
that's
you want
what I
to.
like too. You hear me? I like these guys record labels. They're not really slaves no more. Like they understand. They understand like how to be their own bosses and take advantage of certain situations. I like that. You know what I'm saying? Like they don't have that slave mentality from a certain perspective. I like that. And like I like what's happening with music from one perspective, but you know. I don't like censorship, I don't like that. I feel like it's about promotion, man. And I feel like they are preying on the younger audiences.
Oh yeah,
and
I believe that.
They all do want these younger artists and stuff like that. And the biggest part is so they could rob them for longer. You know what I'm saying? They could take advantage of them, stuff like that. But at the same time, like listen, R&B, like I love R&B music, man. And let me tell you something. Right now, I'm speaking of music as a whole, but I love R&B, right? And I think Ella May, her, Snow Allegra. I think people like that. I mean, they're doing their thing, man. Like I don't think R&B. I don't think R&B ever died, and that's number one. But I think they're doing a great job with the progression of it for this new generation. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I definitely agree with you. I mean, I definitely think the R&B fell off, man. I don't think it died, but I definitely think that we hit a point where it's like you had R&B that was out there, you know what I'm saying? And when I'm talking about Boyz II Men, I'm talking about Brian McKnight, I'm talking about, Brandy, I'm talking about all the greats, you know what I'm saying? When you turn on the radio, you heard an R&B song, you know it's an R&B song, Mariah Carey, Whitney Houston. Then we got...
Brian, not to cut you off, right? At the end of the day, there's still some really talented artists out there, and some of them legends are still putting out music. They just not promoting. Like it's not becoming mainstream like it was before.
That's the point.
I feel like a lot of that is purposely. You know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah, I definitely think it's purposeful to a degree, but I also think it's because it's getting sidelined because it's a new, it's not the same. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah,
you
I
can't.
think they're trying to take the soul out of music, man. You hear me?
Oh well,
I think
that's a
they're
whole
trying to
other
take the
conversation.
emotion out of it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, I can understand how you're saying that because talking about R&B, so I can't believe we're fucking talking about music in this episode, but talking about like soulful R&B, like when you hearing like Luther Vandross and shit like that or whatever, R&B and blues, soul, like yeah. I definitely understand because you get into a different point where you get the poppy R&B and you want to know something. I love Beyonce. I love Beyonce. She's an amazing artist. Beyonce has two forms that I've seen. She had the Dangerously in Love. She had the damn Destiny's Child. Say my name, say my name. Beyonce used to be a monster as far as an R&B artist, whether group or individual. Then Beyonce kind of progressed into the Sasha Fierce, the performer.
Yeah.
It was a little bit more poppy. It was a little bit more. The soul wasn't there anymore. You know what I mean? And that's kind of what dominated the industry. You definitely still have R&B talent. You definitely still have hip hop talent, but you definitely have to search for the true form of the shit now. But when
Yeah, they're trying
before
to
it was
suppress it.
given to
That's
you,
how I feel. Yeah, I
yeah,
mean, I feel like they're trying to suppress it, man.
yeah,
And just feel like their soulful music and them artists that could create that kind of music, they're stirring up something inside people, man, and they don't want that to stir up. Like that. I feel like that's why so much auto tune and all this other stuff. When
yeah,
there's artists out there, man, they can hit every note, man. They can do the show live, and I mean, they're amazing. But
yeah,
you're sitting there saying, now, how did this artist not get no promotion and no radio play and all this other stuff? And then this artist, they can't even sing, is getting all this. I feel like it's purposeful. The same
bro.
reason
I
why.
said that shit too.
Yeah. Hey, Brian, I'm be honest with you too. I feel like it's also purposeful with them signing some of these dumb, some of these. I'm not gonna say dumb, but some of these ignorant kids that they know is gonna help keep them private prisons and all that stuff filled up. You know what I'm saying? Because they're promoting drugs and violence and all these things. And the crazy thing is, for every negative rapper, there's a bunch of positive rappers, man.
Yeah.
And there's some talented artists out there, but you see that they're serving us that stuff, man. Like there's these guys, like you know, whether they're doing it consciously or not, whether they're negative or demonic beings or not, they're promoting these guys, man. They're putting so much money and they got these big campaigns behind these guys. And then next thing you know, like I said, another generation of us is lost. We got the youth thinking it's cool to be a gang member, sell drugs, and just have no respect for authority, just all this stuff. But then they'll turn around and say like, we need to stop violence. To me, it's hypocritical the way it works,
Yeah. That's
And
making some good points right now. I
think
mean,
us too as people. You know what I'm saying? Like I try to any artist I like and I support any artist I like. I try to support. I try to buy their album no matter what, because I feel like if I don't buy the album, I'm actually I'm not doing my part as far as I can't sit there and say I don't like this music or what they're doing with the music if I'm not supporting the artists that I feel like are like a breath of fresh air or positive. You know what I'm saying?
yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about. That was another big thing for a long time, as far as like, supporting the people that you want to, stay in the industry. Like you gotta, you can't sit there and download people's free music and love the artists and then think they're gonna stay around forever. They ain't getting their fucking money. Like that's definitely
Yeah.
a big thing.
And like we were talking about, even with your stuff and my stuff, right? Like if you have a friend or you have somebody that they're doing something and it's positive and it's constructive and you see the benefits of it for us as a whole, right? You should support it. You know what I'm saying? And
Yeah.
I feel like that's what we're not doing. We're not supporting each other. You know what I'm saying?
And that's definitely a really good point. And that's a whole nother like conversation that I definitely do want to have, that I'm probably going to be getting a lot deeper into the more people that come on talking about like music and people that are in the industry now and dealing with certain things. I've had a couple of guys talk about like the ups and downs of the business. It's a hard business, man. Any entertainment is very hard business. But I definitely want to get to we haven't talked about any of your movies and shit. It's been a great conversation. We're gonna have you back on, but I want to talk about what you've done so far, so people know what to watch and people know what to see. We're getting deep. I'm going to cut this up a little bit. So you produced. What's the first movie you ever produced, bro?
I got a movie called Lit that's on Amazon right now. You can rent it on Amazon, and that's actually a movie that I directed. I wrote the script for it, and I actually acted in it. I played one of the detectives in the movie.
Beautiful. Yeah, I still got to check it out. I didn't get a chance to check it out. I told you I had a freaking issue with my bank card. I can't buy anything until I get my new one. But so Lit was the first one. And how was it like? How did it come about? Like, did you have that for a long time, or you just kind of wrote it one day?
Yeah, I mean, I think I was inspired by something, and what I thought about that made a lot of sense to me, and I don't think I got it across as good as I wanted to, but what the main idea that I had was the um the extreme or the polarity, different polarity of the same thing when it came to being a detective and a criminal. Whereas I feel like they one and the same in how they go about certain things. Like a good criminal has to lie to do certain things and manipulate, and I feel like a good detective has to lie and manipulate in order to catch the criminal. And you see all the different ways that I'm not necessarily saying breaking rules, but how they have to manipulate what they have in order to be successful.
I get
And
what you're saying.
like it's just the different polarities are the same thing. You know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah, I definitely understand what you mean. It's one of the things like, yeah, there's been a couple of depictions of it. Like, you can't be the good guy trying to catch the bad guy and just think that the good guy ways are gonna work. Like you kind of got to dip into the bad. I get you. Yeah, it's definitely been some things like that. That's kind of like we were talking about before. I think it was kind of like I don't remember. I don't want to say it and then fuck it up. But so Lit was the first movie that you directed. Was that the movie that um how did it go as far as like finding the talent and did you have to do everything on your own for the most part, like finding the people to play in it?
Yeah, I
um
had some people help me, like the actors that we had and the people that I kind of seeked out and spoke to. It kind of came together, man. Like that's the one thing about these projects, man. It's a lot more than people look. People think like it's actually a great achievement just to finish any project, man. When it comes to that many people and the scheduling and stuff like that,
yeah,
it's a big achievement because it's hard to get a lot of people in one place and trying to stick to a certain script and for lack of a better word, a certain script or format and kind of following it through. You know what I'm saying?
exactly, yeah. I can imagine it's hard for me just to get damn people to come on a damn Zoom conference and shit. It's hard to give people got lives, man. People got shit going on. I mean, it's hard to, like you said, it's hard to keep people all together. But
Yeah, things go wrong, man. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
Like not
that
because
too.
things go wrong, man. Just like anything, man. Music. I've seen people record songs at home, and they work on all this stuff, and then they record it in the studio, and it sound like something missing. And you're sitting there
Yeah,
saying, "Damn!" Like I put all this work into it, and now there's still something missing. Like you know, even with film, it happens like that sometimes. It sounds good on paper. They practice it, all this stuff, but then you sit there and say, "Damn, man, something's missing." Like let's try to do it a different way. So there's always that part of the process too. You know what I'm saying?
yeah, I get you. Yeah, yeah. I mean, that's a good point too. I mean, yeah, when you're doing anything, I think with like your imagination and stuff like that or whatever, there's a good chance that what you have in your head might not come out the right way, or it might come out the way that you envisioned it. But like you said, you might notice like, okay, this was what I thought was going to be great, actually turned out on paper not that good. You do run into that shit. I know that for a fact. Writing music, man. Writing music is a hard thing. Brian B, I used to write music, man. I'm still trying to fucking
I can
write
tell. You
music.
know that? I can tell, man.
Yeah. I used to do all that shit, man. I'm trying to get back into it, but it's only so many hours in a day, bro. Like, I never knew that this was gonna be as time consuming as it is. But speaking of making movies and being on the B line and shit, yo, new movie coming out, bro. So tell us a little bit about the new one. I know I don't want to give too much information, but tell us a little bit about the new one that we gonna be on together and shit.
Yeah, I got new movie is almost done now. It's called Intuit. It's a sci-fi thriller movie, and I think people really gonna dig it. It's one of the mind benders, teasers, and all that stuff. And yeah, like it's. I've always been into sci-fi, so it's something. It's a script I wrote and a bunch of ideas I had. I kind of put them all together and said, let's see how it all kind of plays out. But I think people will enjoy it, and that's what I'm working on now. And I'm hoping everybody's gonna enjoy it too. You know what I mean?
Hell yeah, yeah. When you talk about sci-fi, like sci-fi and horror, kind of for me, that's the first thing I sit there and go into the place where I'm thinking about it. I think about like movies like Aliens and Predator and different things like that or whatever. There's a movie called Dark Skies that I saw. It's a really, really good.
I like that movie, man. I've seen it a
That's
couple
a
times.
good movie, bro. That didn't
Yeah,
get
I
a
like
lot
it.
of hype, but yeah, that was a really good movie. But when I think of stuff like that, that's where my mind goes. But people forget, sci-fi is also like the Terminator, Total Recall, like that's fucking sci-fi, yo. So it's like
Yes, sir.
movies, yeah, sci-fi movies, like they have a big genre for you to attack, because you can have the horror sci-fi, you can have the fantasy sci-fi, you can have just the fucking the outer space kind of like open world sci-fi. James Cameron, like you said, Avatar, like he created a whole nother world. That's sci-fi, yo. So it's like I've always been kind of like touched to that too. I've never been to Star Trek. I'm not even really a big Star Wars person or anything like that or whatever. But I do like the concepts. I like how creative you can be by just, it doesn't have to be just a normal man and a normal woman or a normal, in a normal setting. It could be like a fucking, alien person meeting with another alien over there. And then it's a big range for creativity, yo, and I love that shit. So
Yeah, me too, man. I've
very
always loved it. When
excited.
I was a kid, I remember the first time I saw Star Wars, and we were playing, man. Like we were running around playing in this big house, and we were in the basement, and there was a bunch of toys down there. The kids love to go down there.
Yeah.
And I started playing, man. Like it was that intense. I watched the whole movie, man. I was glued to the screen the whole time,
Yeah.
And I always like even Indiana Jones kind of stuff too. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah. Indiana Jones, that's another big one. That's like all that shit is right before my time, but of course those are like classics. So it's like, even though I'm an '87, so that shit was coming out. Back to the Future and stuff like that. That was stuff that was coming out.
Fun, man.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
I
Like that
watched
was.
Back to the Future probably like 100 times. Yeah, I consider that sci-fi too. What about
That's
you?
pretty much sci-fi. Yeah, time travel and shit like that. Oh yeah, that's definitely.
Joint too, man.
Yeah. There's a lot of good movies, man. A lot of good movies like that or whatever. But my favorite is horror. I'm a fucking horror head, bro. I love horror movies.
So what did you think about the It remake? The remake of It?
Listen, bro. We was talking about that shit on the last podcast. That was a phenomenal, yeah. On my
I
Halloween
like it,
special.
man. I like that joint, man.
Yeah, that shit was
I like
phenomenal,
good movies.
bro.
You know what I'm saying? Like storytelling.
Oh, yeah.
I just love it, man.
Yeah. Especially ones that can. Horror movies for me, bro, they captivate me, bro. Like it's like if you can scare the shit out of me to the point where it's like, all right, I just watched the movie downstairs in my living room, my surround sound, and then I sat there, I turned it off. Now the lights is off, it's dark. All right, now I'm kind of nervous about walking upstairs in the dark. If you can fuck with me like that, big ass nigga, doing my shit, I can protect myself, whatever. But yo, you ever watch a movie? It's a really good one that I just watched not too long ago that'll fuck you up, yo, if you're watching it by yourself in the dark. It's a movie called Hereditary, or something like that. I think that's the name of it. Hereditary. I'm gonna flash on the screen so you guys can see it when I edit the video. But,
I think I saw it, but what was it about? You mind me asking? You gotta give it all. You know what I'm saying?
Listen, I'm gonna give it because that movie is fucking crazy. Yo, it's basically it's a movie about, it's kind of like a bloodline, and that's like what the movie's about. But it starts off like, I'm not going to give too much. No spoilers. I'm going to try to give as much as I can without like spoiling it. It starts off with like a girl. She's kind of like special or whatever. And you're seeing her going through like little events in her life or whatever. She got a family, she got a brother, she got a mom, she got a dad. And they're just showing you the beginning part. And then out of nowhere, some crazy shit happens. And from there, it just jumps into just like creepy, weird ghost shit. It's very crazy, and I'm not doing it no justice by describing it. I'm just telling you, watch the movie for the first like 5-6 minutes, and then once you see the part happen, you're gonna be like, okay, what the fuck am I watching right now? Because that's what I thought. I was like, it was really well done, because it was like, it really made you like, holy shit, like this is deep. Like I feel for this right now. Because I was sitting there in it, and then it's just like the creep out parts that are in it is just like unbelievable, yo. So
did you see Tenet by any chance?
Tenet? Wait a minute. Did I see? No, I don't think I saw it. I know what you're talking about though. I saw the preview. Is it good?
No, I didn't see it yet either, man. But what about Mandalorian? Like that
Mandalorian, the Star Trek joint?
Yeah, no, Star Wars, Mandalorian.
Star Wars. Yeah, I never been big on Star Wars, bro. Star Wars, I've seen like pretty much all of them, I think, but I've never been really into them. I got them, but I never really was big on Star Wars.
Man, I
Yeah,
like Star Wars.
I'm more of an action dude, bro. I love fucking like my favorite movies of all time is Bad Boys, yo. Bad Boys and Bad Boys 2, Bad Boys 3. Them shits
Yeah, I
is
like those.
phenomenal,
What
bro.
about the Matrix? You ever like them kind of movies?
Oh, yeah, hell yeah. The Matrix, John Wick. Oh, I fuck with them shits all day. Yeah, I love them. They coming out with another Matrix. They just I think they starting to shoot for it already.
Yeah, man. I've been looking at it too, man. I'm excited. I'm curious. I'm so curious. I think trying to figure out where they're gonna start at and what the story gonna be about.
Yeah, I remember Neo died in the end of the, well, you know, spoiler alert, but I know Neo died in the end of the last one or whatever. I think they made him die, but I mean, you know how it is, bro. You know they always he was the one, so maybe they'll pick something up and have him, because the Matrix was one of those type of movies where to this day it still messes people up, because it's like the message in it. You know what's crazy? I kind of not a couple years ago finally got the message of what the Matrix was actually trying to deliver, yo. And basically my representation of it is like they just said, the Matrix is the real world. The Matrix is not the fucking world that we're living in currently. Like, we're in the Matrix right now, according to the Matrix. And we're just a simulation. We're just a fucking computer program that's being projected through our minds, from our sleeping bodies that's being grown in the forest, like how they showed it. So we're not really living. We're just being used, I guess, or whatever, as energy, and they're just, you know, giving us images in our heads. It was really interesting, yo. When's the last time you watched it? You watched it recently?
What, the Matrix?
The first Matrix, yeah.
Nah, I haven't seen it. It's been a long time, man. Like that Mandalorian thing. That's what I've been watching lately, man.
Is it good?
I mean, it's pretty smooth. I like it, man. Like,
yeah.
I mean, I don't want to give nothing away, but it's pretty smooth. Like, I don't know exactly the direction they're going in with some of it, but I think that's the good part. Like, I like stories where you got to kind of follow them. You know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah, to build and stuff like that.
Like I said, that's what I like about film the most, like the storytelling part. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Visual storytelling. You know.
So how you like? So you should like not just movies, but you like Netflix series and stuff like that?
Yeah, I mean, like, I watch Stranger Things, you know, I'm into that.
Oh yeah, that's good.
Yeah, I don't really know too much. I watched some of that Umbrella Academy.
We couldn't fuck with it either, bro. Yeah, we tried. I think we watched the first like 2 episodes and we kind of deaded it. We heard it was really good, but I don't know, bro. I can't get into that too much kiddie superhero shit. Like, I love superhero movies. I love with a passion. But the Umbrella Club or whatever the hell it was,
Umbrella Academy, I think it was.
It looked like they had a lot of potential to be good. Maybe I just didn't give it enough of a chance. But I just got bored, bro. I got bored like immediately with. I got hiccups and shit. I got bored immediately with the shit.
Yeah, I didn't watch the whole season, but I watched, I think, maybe like 6-7 episodes. And I don't know if I got bored, but I kind of got sidetracked. So I just, you know, it wasn't like Stranger Things. Stranger Things, when the whole season comes out of Stranger Things,
yeah,
it don't matter what I'm doing. I'm watching the whole season. I don't do that. I don't try to watch one episode at a time and then get back to it. I try to watch it all at one time. You know what I'm saying?
And we spoiled that way now, bro. Yo, remember when shows came on and shit, and you had to wait until the summer was over to find out what happened the next season and shit? Yeah, bro. Like, for sure. You watch the whole shit now. You know, people don't know that.
Binge watching, right? That's what they say. That's what they call it.
Oh, yeah. I do the same. We love Stranger Things, yo. Stranger Things is a great show. It's phenomenal, bro. They got a lot of good shows on Netflix, man. You know, Netflix started out, it was just movies. Remember when Netflix, you was able to rent the movies even. You was able to, you know, if they didn't have it in the queue or on the screen, you was able to, you know, have it mailed to you. Then you watch it and then you send it back in the mail. That's how Netflix started out. For people who don't remember that shit, I remember that shit. But Netflix and, you know, Hulu and all these different forms or whatever streaming, you know, they developed. And, you know, Netflix is one thing I can say. I know there was a lot of controversy. There's always controversy with shit that's been out forever. But Netflix was very good, man. Like, I never would have thought that the amount of content and the quality of the content that Netflix has, you know, would have been as successful as they are, because some of their shows are amazing, bro. Like I think I was talking about it with Lenny Harrell. Me and Lenny talking about a lot of shit, but like Daredevil and all the Marvel shit that they were doing or whatever. Like, god damn, like those were amazing productions, man. I don't think a lot of people knew that, like, you know, those were going to be as, like, you know, interesting as they were. Because I was ready to hate on it.
Daredevil and stuff like that.
Oh yeah, that shit was phenomenal, bro. Punisher, all of that shit. But yeah, man. You thinking
So
about.
what do you feel about Marvel, like the Avengers and all that kind of stuff?
Oh yeah, I love all that shit, man. I'm a big ass superhero head. I love all the I've always been a fan of you know, superhero movies and Batman and, you know, Hulk and all that shit or whatever since I was little. So when they started doing like the, you know, the big motion picture scenes and shit like that or whatever, and like, you know, box office movies, I was all over it. Especially with the technology now, you know what I mean? Like you were doing it, you know, back in the day, but with the technology how it is, like it's incredible, bro. Like, you know, you making this shit for real now. But
I like Avengers too, man. Not all of it, some of it, you know.
yeah, I love that shit.
I like Thanos. I like his character a lot, man.
Yeah, Thanos was a badass motherfucker, bro. Like he played it good. Thanos was one of them bad guys that you didn't want to see be gone because you enjoyed what he brought to the table. Like you enjoyed the challenge that the superheroes had to face with him. But they supposed to be coming out with some more shit.
And that last one, I was rooting for him, man.
I was rooting for him. That's a New York bro, person's fucking statement. That's how we think. Yeah, we root for the bad guy and shit.
I know everybody in the movie theater was giving me dirty looks, and I don't got him, you know. He was cold though, man. You remember when he was sitting outside after he blew up that joint that was inside of the headquarters or whatever?
Yeah,
he was just sitting there waiting on them. They're like, yo, what is he doing? I said, man, he's just sitting there. You know what I'm talking about? He had the sword in the dirt.
Yeah, I just talking about. Yeah. That was a badass fucking movie, bro. Like
I actually hated that movie, man. I actually liked the last maybe 20 minutes of that movie, man.
Really? Which one? You talking about the end game?
Yeah, I didn't like that shit, man.
You know what?
The last one is Endgame, right?
Yeah. I know what you're saying. For me, I loved it. I loved it. But I do understand what you mean because it was a very big build. Like you had to kind of restructure like the whole damn, you know, process of what they were going to do. And you had to tell a story. So they had to tell a fucking story. But at the end, yeah, when they finally did, because the first one, Infinity War was full of fucking action, bro. Like from start to finish, like, you know,
that was no joke. That's my favorite one, man.
That shit was it was. I get what you're saying because it definitely was. But I liked Endgame too for just like the build. Like you was waiting, you knew the fucking heroes were gonna come back, but when they finally came back, and then the end scene of them fighting, listen, bro. That shit was when fucking Thor and Cap was fighting fucking Thanos and fucking Thanos had Thor on the ground and Cap picked up the fucking hammer and threw it. Yo, I lost my mind in the movie. Like I was watching sports and shit. Yo, I was fucking losing it. But
I like when Captain Marvel came out and everybody was the whole movie exploded and she came and they just felt like she was gonna beat Thanos up and he just came out of nowhere and beat her up, you know. Favorite part, you know?
Rooting for Thanos hard as hell. That's funny as shit. Yo, Lewis, we've been talking for a minute, bro. It's late, man. Yo, B Line. Hey, we gonna be in a movie soon, bro. And this is the producer, Mr. Oh yeah, Intuit. You guys gonna check it out? We're gonna definitely gonna give you updates when it's out. Go on Amazon.com, check out Lit. Look for Carlos Pizarro. He's the producer and the director. Check out Lit. I think it's like 99 cents to rent it. Yo, check it out, man. Support people. We supporting people here at the B Line. And we trying to make moves, yo. We trying to make moves here. Yo, Los, thank you very much for coming on, bro. We've been talking for almost 2 hours, man.
I know, man. Hey, I appreciate you, man. I had fun, brother.
Yeah, no problem. Yo, I'm gonna see you this weekend, bro. We doing more on the B Line. We doing more on the B Line. But yo, until next time, people. Auntie Tiff, we wet. Oh, she upstairs. She got the baby. But yo, till next time, stay true, stay positive, pay attention. Your boy Brian B. We'll holler.